I am Dungeon Master, your guide in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I am the Dungeon Master, and this is Dragons of War. Today, we rejoin the entire party as they have just defeated the dreaded two-headed ogre that terrorizes these parts, and his main goblin captain, as well as some of the goblins who are helping to haul away the meteor. You guys spend a little bit of time searching the goblins and collecting arrows and other equipment from them. In the party sheet up on the top right, if you go to inventory, you'll see that I have put 30 arrows, what you guys were able to recover from the goblins, into the party sheet. Now, obviously, if you guys want to, restock everyone, not everyone is going to be able to take all 30 of the arrows. So, I will do you a favor and split them into bundles of 10, and then that way you can tell me who wants what.
I think, given our previous experience, that Lucy should be fully stocked. So, if she's got, I think she has slots for what 15 left. Tanya, check that out on your inventory.
Oh, are you using a crossbow or a bow? Is a question.
Got a longbow.
Longbow, yeah. So she'll need them. I am down 14 arrows. I still have 26, so I'm also not the main damage dealer. So I'll take whatever. If there's any arrows left over, I'll take them. Otherwise, it's not an issue. If I don't, I can restock later.
Who else has? I think Elodie has a bow too, right? Do you have a bow?
Yeah, I've only used one arrow one time, but yeah. I do technically. I'm not seeing Ramon's arrows are. She's
She's out. She's pretty much out. She had like 2 back or something like that.
to know how many
Under actions, in her inventory.
I'll put them to good use.
Oh, so she's out. Yeah, she's got 20 now. So whatever you got left there, throw another 2 in there. No, it's for you.
Oh.
Yeah. So add in as many as you can get from Lucy, then Dungeon Master, I think, and then dagger, crossbow. That's a crossbow for Elodie. Looks like Elodie's out of slings and darts. But there's no crossbow ammo listed for her right now.
No.
Okay. Does she have that? Can she add that to her ammo then?
No.
Okay. So
There's no crossbow bolts available.
Gotcha. Okay, so I would give as many of them as you can to
Lucy.
To Lucy, right? And Gabriel, do you have Gabriel? Sorry, Oracle. Does he have a? No, he doesn't have anything, right?
No.
Okay. Well, then I would split them between Lucy and Pesci. How's that sound?
I think Lucy should take priority for arrows. Pesci is literally handing her all the arrows.
Okay. So can she carry those extra arrows, Dungeon Master?
Yes. I'm just giving them to her now.
Awesome. We have 30 gold pieces to split among us. Since I'm the biggest and strongest and loudest, I should get all of them. That'd be my opinion.
But I put on the performance of a lifetime. Literally, multiple lifetimes.
We should make sure to carry around the upper torso of this ogre, since he does have a sort of infamy to him.
Well, I mean, look, we got 6 characters. Why don't we take the gold pieces and split them? Everybody gets 5. Easy.
We should probably, if we decide not to split them amongst the party, we can kind of use them as like the party pot for when we need to do something that is for the benefit of the party. For example, Gabriel's hiring of these kobolds, we can use it as sort of like a party pot.
Except
to
for
pull from.
somebody has to carry them because they do have.
Correct.
weight.
So it would basically be we'd have to track it, but we would have to carry
Okay, so
them.
who do we trust?
I mean, obviously,
Me.
I don't have any issue with holding on to the money at all. You can trust your friendly neighborhood bard.
I don't trust it.
Why not?
I don't trust the bard. You know.
don't trust them.
You don't trust the bard.
The bard hired Jake the donkey.
Bard is good. Let's give it to the bard.
No, let's split up evenly. I'm just kidding. The
Alright,
bard's
that's
just
fine.
kidding. He's splitting up evenly amongst us.
I'm just a big happy guy who's gonna kill anybody who tries to take my money anyway. So I'm giving it up to all of you, and then I'll kill you all later. How's that sound?
The bard takes that threat seriously and says we should split this evenly amongst us.
All right, everybody gets 5. So, is there anything else we have to apportion among ourselves?
Nope. Just add 5 to your GP.
Okay. Under inventory. Cool.
That's a very good point you make, Scout.
Yeah. True. Scouts.
Just had to.
Well,
Just
you
had
see, some people have their phobias, and you can't really judge the people based off their phobias,
That's
as
right.
they're, oh my god, there's a skeleton right behind you.
Right, because you had 5 commands.
I don't know how to find
Look at that big old spider.
Well, it's clear that the bugbear has a fear of skeletons, while the bard has a fear of arachnids.
No, the bard just turns into a pyromaniac around arachnids.
Now that's phobia.
Well, I'm afraid of turning into fire, so I'm glad I wasn't there for that episode. Okay.
It's a healthy phobia that is treated with fire.
All right.
When it comes to fear, there are 3 responses: fight, flight, or freeze. You chose fight when it comes to
You
arachnids.
can also bark.
I chose fire.
That's fight.
Flatulence. Flatulence is another option.
That's not an option. I
It
swear.
begins with F. All right. Enough of the dad jokes. It's Father's Day. I'm allowed to do dad jokes.
All right. So, as you guys, gather up the arrows and gold pieces and, whatever you can get from the goblins, Scout, roll for perception. Everybody else is busy, investigating, but you are on alert, watching for anything that's approaching. You I'll let you decide what you tell everyone, but you can sense, just based off of the way that the tall grass is moving, that there are small, bipedal creatures headed your way, and there's like a dozen of them.
Huh.
I believe we have some more company. As he gets his rapier and his quarterstaff ready.
I think
Yeah,
we
we're
should be.
our kobold friends. Are these our kobold friends?
Our kobold friends go up into the air and figure out and get to see what they are.
This is a D&D game. I doubt it.
Okay, well, I guess we should get ready in case they're not our kobold friends. Let's get into cover or hide or something.
What about the meteor fragment? Hello.
It'll draw their attention as we ambush them if they're not our kobold friends.
It's not going to go anywhere during this fight.
Big open field that we were in, though. So is there actual cover?
Can I ready my bow?
There's not like a whole lot for cover. The grass is rather tall, like knee height on a human.
Okay, so can we get prone and hide amongst the tall grass?
Maybe even closer to thigh high in some places, but yeah, I mean you always have the option to drop prone.
Okay. Let's prepare for setting up another ambush if we need to, gentlemen and ladies.
And others.
And others.
And dragon kinds.
Okay. Everybody goes down.
Good at this.
We'll move a little bit away from all the pile of bodies and everything and kind of duck into cover and stealth.
All right.
I'm going to DM. I'm going to give a vigilant blessing to Scout.
Okay.
I sort of says, "Let the night guide you. Let the stars guide you."
And what's this supposed to do?
It gives you advantage on your initiative.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I want cool skills like that.
You do. Just look up Monster Hunter on D&D.
Well, that's time being. Now we are
We are where we are.
we are listening and waiting and looking and trying to see if anything's showing up.
What do we need to do other than wait?
Not
Roll anything?
at the moment. Not until the dungeon master tells you to. We're overtaken by a large horde of barbarians that are throwing down on us and making us,
Yes. So, as you guys all hide, the figures move all about. They're yes. You guys can roll stealth if you like.
Which one is that in?
Mommy,
I am.
yeah, that's the +6 is what got you there.
And who are you giving the vigilant blessing to again? Pesci, right?
No, to Scout.
Scout, gotcha. All right, that should work.
Oh. Who rode the best? Did you roll the best? Odie?
Is it?
They're trying to.
Is this a group stealth?
Yeah, everybody needs to roll for stealth in order to determine how well hidden they are.
Yeah, I did.
But how can I roll alone?
All right.
Okay. So what happens?
So,
Aaron.
as you guys are all, prone and hiding from whatever these figures are marching around, suddenly you hear them scream and panic and run off.
Were we able to see what they were?
You can hear that they were the kobolds, but the scream seems to have been a scream of pain, as suddenly you hear more arrows flying through the air and striking all around you as the kobolds scatter and run for their lives.
Okay. Do we see where the arrows are coming from?
Yes, the other direction. Towards where the goblins and the ogre had come from.
Gotcha. So it's not like they are coming from around us; they are simply directionally in front of us.
Correct.
Do we see motion? Do we see like more goblins?
Well, once the arrows start flying, if anybody pokes their head up,
Who
Sure,
was
I
the
will
best?
carefully poke my head up to look around stealthily.
attempting to stealthily poke your head up out of the grass, you look around. You instantly see two more of the goblin bosses, each surrounded by about 5 other goblins, firing arrows into the kobolds and hitting several of them.
So, is there a way to, like, for example, with me, get my arrow in ready so that we can all, on the count of 3 or something, start fighting them?
There is a lot that you guys can do, but before you guys do anything, you might want to, take a look at your character sheets and remember that right now only Lucy has full hit points. Everybody else has been wounded to some degree. Elodie and Scout are just barely clinging to consciousness after having been knocked down or knocked out by the ogre, and Pesci and Gorakul are not far behind, with Zarash, your party's bruiser, being at about 1/3, of his total fighting capacity. He's expended, quite a bit today. So out of all of you, only Lucy has the full 25 hit points. Elodie and Scout have 1. Bitey Slayer only ever had 1. Gorakul has double that with 2. Pesci has double that with 4. And Zarash has 12.
Well, it sounds like a great day to fight. Let's go after him.
Let's
Let's retreat.
take this carefully.
Gorakul is not going to retreat if it means leaving behind.
Scout has been abusing me about being afraid of things, so I need to prove my bugbeariness now.
What are the kobolds doing? They're just running?
Running for their lives.
Well, I think that's about the position we're in. But is there a way I can
Gorakul, we can come back for this thing. Let's go.
No! No, we
Okay,
are
we're gonna
not.
need you to die then. All right, see you soon.
Gorakul is serious about the meteor.
I'm serious about the meteor, but we're gonna fight these guys right now.
We're dead, but I can't do anything.
Let's track them back. We'll track them back.
We can't! If we leave it here, then they'll take it.
Well, Gabriel, we can cover and we can overcome them. Gorakul, we can overcome them. Just the way we did overcome the last guys. We got to recover first.
After the question, is there a way we can leverage my right now to make the easier?
Gorakul is
Right now,
going to.
Right now, Gorakul is having a fit in the grass. It's going to make it not particularly helpful for us to escape. So first things first, you have to convince Gorakul that we're going to have to back off.
Yes, and
Gorakul.
1 second, Hazard, just 1 second. I just want to make sure that everybody understands that as Gorakul gets more and more upset, he's obviously, his voice is raising, and, you guys are going to attract the attention of the goblins very shortly if a decision isn't made. So, I'm going to give you a little bit longer to, role play this because I like the role play, but also as you guys are discussing, the goblins saw the kobolds and so they were shooting them, but if they see or hear you guys, they will switch attention.
So why don't we observe and kind of back off a little bit? Because obviously we took out their big guy. And these guys, they don't seem nearly as organized as this other group was. So they're not going to know what to do. They're going to be confused for a little bit and probably, yes, they will probably end up trying to take the stone, but that's okay because it's easy to track. Let's back off, lick our wounds, and then we can go back to tracking them down.
But Gorakul is sort of very frustrated.
We're not going to be leaving them with the stone. Let me make that abundantly clear to you, Gorakul. That is not the plan. However, we are not in a position right now to fight them on this. We're all very hurt.
Move. Let's go.
So let's back off a little bit.
Where do we back off to?
We're going to go as far away from these guys as we
Is there
can
any
for now.
cover anywhere?
No.
No, there's not, but we can slowly back off, and if we stay very still, they're not going to really look for us too much. So let's back off.
But
quietly.
But that's leaving the meteorite.
Gorakul, do you want to be left alone? Because we all have to leave right now or we're going to die. And you're going to die too. So if you want to die, stay. If you don't want to die, come with us. We gotta go.
DM, in the meantime, I'm kind of trying to create illusions to make sure that they're of sounds to distract them away from our position and make it sound sort of like there's still kobolds over in a different direction.
Okay. 1 second.
To give us a little bit more time to get away.
Stay.
Okay. I'm just. I'm trying to act in character.
That's fine. Well, but then you decide in character. Are we staying and dying, or are we leaving?
We can come back and get it. If we
Decide
die, we're not
now.
gonna get it anyway.
Decide now. What are you doing?
We can't secure the meteor fragment if we're dead.
We go then.
We're leaving. Okay. So DM,
Yes.
we are all backing out.
Though Goracle
Okay.
is very upset and believes that
As long as
the
Oracle remains quiet during the backing out process.
Goracle just still believes that the goblins are going to take the
Fine. Let's go.
All right. So, as you guys are preparing to back away, Pesci creates the sound of a distraction, over by where the kobolds were trying to get the goblins over there. It works for about
Do you want me to roll deception or something for you?
5 of them. And they head off over by the goblins, or I mean the kobolds where they were. And the others all seem to focus in on where Lucy's tail stuck up above the grass for a moment before she quickly pulled it down. And they begin advancing slowly on the position. Zarash, you would understand the goblins calling out in Goblin, "Anything there, we're gonna kill you!"
Okay.
Can I make? Do I see that her tail sticked up for a moment, DM?
No, nobody knows,
Okay.
what exactly, they saw, but they're basically saying, come out now or we're going to just fill the area with arrows. So at this point, everybody can roll initiative since everybody's going to have to react, individually.
Roll the right thing.
Yes, you did.
Elodie, with 1 hit point left, is like, yeah, I'm out of here. They go first and they're like, yeah, okay, you guys have fun, playing with the goblins. I'll be back at base.
Wait.
I mean, I don't know that that's for sure what you do. I'm just making a joke because you rolled a 20,
I mean, it's pretty accurate. I've got 1 hit point left. I'm not hanging around.
Might just crawl away.
Well, crawling does work well to give yourself the prone condition, so you have, they have disadvantage while attacking you. There's no question that that is a solid strategy. However, it should be noted that you can stand up and run, which would then get you further away. And then, so if you're out of their short range, then they also still have disadvantage on attacking you. So it's really kind of a horse apiece. Do you want to run and try to get out of their range, or do you want to crawl and then you're going to be in their range and they might run up on you. Both are solid strategies as far as like circumstantially. It just comes down to whatever you decide and whatever they end up doing, to determine what's going to actually happen here. Also, Elodie, I believe you weren't here last week, so I gave you Icing Death's Frost and Misty Step. Misty Step allows you to teleport up to 30 feet. Is it 30 or is it 60? 30 feet to an unoccupied space that you can see as a bonus action. So you still have your standard and your move action left after that. So like literally you could teleport 30 feet and then run another 60 feet and be 90 feet away, which is for sure out of their short range for their short bows. So that is an option. However, it should be noted that you do still have all 4 of your first level slots and both of your second level slots left. So you could literally stay hidden, wait for them to get close enough, and then blast them with Icing Frost Death. And maybe, just maybe, because you have the first initiative, that means that as soon as, they all get close enough, you could just blast them with this Icing Frost Death, and it deals 3d8 cold damage, and any creature that fails the save is also unable to move. Is it just move? Oh, it has to use another creature uses its action to break the ice off of it. It's just covered in ice. What does why is it not telling me what? Oh, has its speed reduced to 0. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, they can't move anymore.
So would that be like a prepared action, or would I?
Yeah, it'd be a readied action. So basically what you would be doing, you can crawl forward a little bit so that you're right next to Scout, so that as soon as this grouping of goblins comes close enough for your 30-foot cone, you can blast as many of them as possible, hopefully killing a bunch of them, but at the very least, anybody who fails their save is going to be frozen in place and not be able to come forward. You also happen to know that 3d8 is going to kill all but the strongest of goblins 90% of the time.
So yeah, I'm gonna do that then. I'll crawl forward even with Scout, and then just prepare that action.
Okay. At the bottom of your sheet, you will see ready. To double click to put out the notification of intent, and then that will set you up for
Preparation thing. Mode preparation.
at the bottom, generic actions. There's ready.
Generic actions ready.
Yep, and then so now we know that you are going to wait until these goblins have moved forward, and then once they have done that, if they are within range, you are going to blast them. Your range is this, by the way.
Now that we're
So-
stuck here, saying-
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, now that I think we're stuck here, Oracle, maybe the best thing to do, Lucy, is for Lucy to stand up, shoot an arrow at one of the groupings, and just
We're
have them.
in initiative order.
No, I don't think we're in it yet, are we?
Yes, we are.
I don't think. Are we?
That's why I was.
Yes.
We are in combat. Oh, we are.
So
in
it
combat.
doesn't matter. We're going in initiative order. So I've
We're
readied my
stuck.
move. I'm gonna crawl. I'm gonna end my turn.
We're stuck.
We're not exactly stuck.
Well, okay, then are we running away? We're not running away at this point. We're in.
We're being careful and seeing where this goes, and if we need to, we're ready to run.
If we can manage to hold them off long enough to escape, or defeat them in the process of trying to hold them off to escape. I did some action that's basically just going to try our best to wipe out as many as possible, so people can try to also wipe out people as we're trying to run away.
Okay.
Scout reading what the party's doing instead of them retreating, and he sees a Lodi move up. Scout's gonna crawl over to Lodi and help hide her as best as he can.
Scout knows exactly how to use the terrain and everything to his advantage, so gathering some of the grasses, he like makes a little blind that allows them to be behind a thicker clump of grass while still being able to see.
Okay. Pesci is going to carefully and stealthily as well back up. He's just trying to get out of the big firing range, but he's also going to ready an action. And that action is sleep. Worked so well the last time.
Pesci readies to go to sleep.
Yes. Let's see. I guess I can only move at half speed if I'm prone. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So I can move up to 15 or 10.
Your speed is 30, is it not?
25 because I'm a gnome.
Yes. Then it is 10.
Okay.
I'll look that up later to make sure I'm right about that, but because most things in 5th edition round up, but if it rounds up, then I mean, yeah, I guess 15. If it rounds up, that means that at half speed you're just as fast as everybody else. But now that I think about it, that's pretty fair since you're both at half speed.
Do I have to announce what spell slot I'm using?
First or second, yes.
Okay. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
And the goal is to try to catch as many of this and many of them in this as possible before they have a chance to react.
Goblin number 1 moves towards the sounds of the kobolds. Goblin number 2 moves forward carefully. I guess that wouldn't be carefully. So yeah, he comes to a stop right here. This goblin moves towards the sounds. This goblin moves towards the sounds. Zarash.
All right. Well, I guess I'm just gonna stay quiet and prone at this point.
turn?
Not yet. Soon.
Gorakul starts seeing that that everyone is being quiet is going to hush up, even, and knowing that they're actually doing us, that Elodie is planning a surprise attack, going to is going to prepare a cure wounds and change into his one of his starry forms when she casts the spell.
Yes, thoughts.
My suggestion would be, since now we're in this battle,
Yes.
that you stand up and shoot.
Maybe move away from you guys and
No, because at this point you have a clear line of sight. So essentially, what you want to do is you want to stand up and shoot these guys, the guys on the bottom part. At least I think, because with your hail of thorns, well, you should be able to take the ones the bottom ones out, and then if these guys keep approaching Elodie, then Elodie will be able to hit them.
Well, shouldn't I be able to hit this guy?
No, but the issue is once you stand up, they're going to run this way, and Elodie's going to be able to get them with this spell, and hopefully you get rid of them all. I mean, the
But
issue is,
I do want to point out that they have arrows. So that does not guarantee that they're going to charge us. They can just launch arrows at us, which was their initial threat. So maybe it may be that that you prepare to essentially target one of the two goblin bosses, and if they're still standing after Elodie or Lucy's blast, then you hit them to make sure they get taken down.
yeah, DM, is there a way that we can all move at once? At this point, I guess not, because we are in initiative order.
Is there a way you can all move at once? Only if you guys all held your turn or readied your action to do so.
Well, that's what I was kind of suggesting is.
You can go. Can is it possible for Lucy to move to adjust her initiative order in this?
Yes.
Oh, so you can still do that then, Lucy, if you want to go closer to everyone else.
So you're saying move and ready my action? Is that what we're?
No, he's saying that if you hold your turn, technically speaking, you would be going last, but the difference between last and first is nothing after the first round. So if you hold your turn until the last goblin has acted, then you will act just before Elodie, and then like more in line with it'll go Lucy, Elodie, Scout, Pesci, a couple of the goblins, and then Zarash, and finally Bitey Slayer and Gorakul. But basically, by holding your action, you can, as he put it, adjust your initiative.
But right now, I can hold my action, but also ready an action, or no?
No, you either hold your turn or you ready an action. If you ready an action, your initiative remains the same, but your action goes off when the trigger occurs. If you hold your turn, your initiative changes to where you enter back into the turn order.
Did I just hit end turn?
If you want to hold your turn, then just say that you're holding your turn. Right? Holding your turn?
Yes.
Hello?
Hello? Yeah, she
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm holding my turn. I don't know where I'm supposed to talk.
It's all good.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes. I just wanted to make sure because I don't like to you know, forget something like that. So now I've set your initiative to where I'll remember. All right. So now, Lucy, you are at the very top or bottom. It doesn't matter of the initiative order, but you can continue to hold it if you want to see what Elodie, Scout, or Pesci do first, or you can keep holding it for longer than that. So you can either jump back in now and you'd be essentially the first to act, or you can wait until more people have acted and then jump in.
Well, can I just ready an action so that,
At this point, you're in position to attack.
so I might as well attack?
You might as well attack because Elodie's going to attack next. You're going to try to wipe out the four on the bottom, and Elodie's going to move forward 5 feet and then traverse spell and get rid of the ones at the top. That's the goal.
Okay,
Well, so the DM's point was that Lucy can delay her action until LD Scout and myself go to take care of whoever's still standing, because Elodie is doing an area effect attack, which will hit multiple enemies, and I'm also doing an area of effect attack, but I'm timing mine to take place after Lucy's, because if anyone hits the guys that I sleep, they wake back up. So I want her to take out a bunch to weaken them, and then I want my sleep to go off.
And Gorakul is going to turn into his chalice form, and then heal Elodie.
We have to deal with the first part of this first.
So I'm holding my turn, DM.
Understood. Continuing to hold turn.
I think you can. Is it emanating from a point? Is that how this spell works, DM?
No, it emanates from Elodie.
Okay, so she has to move into position to
Scout
get it.
whispers to Elodie, hold your action, I'll draw him in.
I'm waiting for Elodie to go before I'm going, so I'd end up.
Yeah, I'm just trying to place this a couple of different ways to see what her maximum effect would be. I was trying to see if, like, by standing at the top of the line facing down, if she could get both of the goblin bosses or something like that. It doesn't appear so. So your maximum grouping is going to be to hit all 4 of these guys, but you have to move into position. The bummer is that no matter what you want to do, you're going to have to move, because as of right now, you are out of range. Now you could continue to just keep your readied action for when they move forward, and then oh, I'm sorry. I just wanna explain that. Basically, what would happen is as soon as these 3 goblins up top here move forward, you would blast them with this. However, there's no guarantee that they're going to still be in your range. So if you want to attack them now, you can. If you want to abandon that plan, you can. Whatever you want to do.
I think I want to hold my turn because scouts said try to lure them in closer, and I want to see what happens there.
Did he hear you?
Yes.
Yeah. He said yes.
I mean, they also have all the bodies of all their allies right here that they may want to go over and poke at too. So they'll probably be
Yeah.
lured in by that.
Yeah, I mean they're about to stumble on that over here by where the kobolds were, but right now they're over by you guys. So these guys are anyway. So
Yeah.
all right, Elodie. So if you're holding your turn, go ahead and end it.
Scout grumbles as he stands up and yells out to him, "I surrender. You've got me."
In what language?
Common.
1 second.
And I make a 5-foot step so that
Goblin boss number 1 actually understands common, and he takes one look at you, sees that you're a warforged, and orders his men to fire. Zarash, you understand this. Scout, unless you speak Goblin, you do not.
Right. Scout, get down.
I knew this was going to go one way or another.
Elodie, are you going?
I feel like
Now that Scout has done his...
Yeah, I
What's
feel
up?
like at this point I should.
Okay, well then, it is Elodie's turn.
So I basically can walk forward and then be able to hit people with this attack, right?
Yeah.
Maximum 150 at the bottom.
Yeah, but then Lucy still has her turn, and Lucy could take her turn. And so.
And I am after you.
Right. So I would suggest you just take 2 steps forward, get the 30-foot range so that you can cover the top 3 and just get rid of the top 3.
I'd say to try to maximize the amount of enemies that you can hit. My sleep spell is dependent upon total hit points. So the more you can reduce down, the more I can affect. And I'm going to go immediately after Lucy goes.
Okay. Well, hold on. You can't move that far, Elodie. You only can move 15 feet because the first thing you do is stand up from prone. As soon as you stand up from prone, you trigger the readied action of the other goblins. Scout was shouting that he surrenders, which Goblin boss number 1 held the goblins back from firing. But as Elodie jumps up, their readied actions to attack anyone who appears trigger.
We're all dead at this point.
You're upset at me. I get
Well,
it.
I mean, it's what happens. We should.
No, you're upset at me. I get it, Dad.
Gabe, come on. We gotta finish it off. Let's go.
Nobody's upset. I
This is what happens.
I don't see why anybody would be upset.
It's my fault. It's always my fault.
It's not your fault, Gabe. We chose to play it out this way.
Now, come on now, Hazard. We talked about this before. The stuff that happens in D&D games is just what happens in games. It's nobody's fault. Nobody has to, be upset or be angry at anybody.
It doesn't.
If every D&D game went to where you find a meteor, you grab the meteor, you go back home with the meteor, then there wouldn't ever be any reason to roll dice. It would just be, everything you want happens and nothing bad ever happens, and there wouldn't be a need for saving throws or hit points or anything like that. The reason that we have hit points is because death is possible. We have saving throws because sometimes you fail them. And it's not your fault or anybody else's. If anything, it's the designer of the game's fault for how the game is meant to be played. Just like in Uno, sometimes you get a draw 4, sometimes you get a reverse.
So Elodie stood while she did this, or was she just moving up to hit them 15 feet? I'm confused about that.
I assumed that you would have to stand up in order to cast your spell and attack them. If you're trying to crawl forward and attack them, that would be at disadvantage then, because somatic components, if you've ever watched, Doctor Strange or anything like that, it requires a lot of like arm movement, stuff that isn't going to really be possible while you're prone.
Okay, so basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to crawl to that spot, then stand up and hit them. So it just gives me a little extra time. But
yeah. So you stand up after crawling to that spot, but the result is the same. The goblin sees you and shoots you, and you drop prone again after being hit with the arrow, and now you're unconscious.
So that would happen before I cast my spell?
Yes.
Okay, so then there's absolutely no reason to proceed forward. Like I shouldn't move forward at that point.
You didn't know that, though.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm fine with her being back. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
So what I theoretically could do is just stay with the readied action, and then if they come closer to me, I'll do it. But if they stay the way they are, then there's nothing I can do.
Right.
It doesn't matter. As soon as you stand up, they're gonna shoot you, no matter where you are. Is that correct, Dan?
Yeah, they do have readied actions that they take each round in order to, shoot anybody that they see.
Yeah, but why?
Look, I'm just readying my action, so if they come closer, I'll be the person in the readied action situation where I can attack them. That's what I'm doing. My turn.
Okay. So one of them shot.
No, nobody shot because Elodie is taking back her turn.
Okay, I see. Okay. Let me see if there's other things I can do. No, I'm way out of range to be able to do that. Okay. I'm still going to kind of crawl over here. And I am going to ready the same action. But DM, if I get up on my knees, this is tall grass. I am small. Am I still considered like? How would that work for me? Basically, what I'm trying to get is I still want to be in stealth if I have to cast something, but I don't want to be disadvantaged for casting a somatic component.
Yeah, you can't have it both ways. If you're not on your feet, you're prone. If you're prone, you're disadvantaged for casting.
Okay. Well, that's
sorry. I like the thought that you had about I'm short if I get on my knees. It's totally logical. I could argue that you should be able to do that, but my one and only argument for why I'm not going to allow it is simply that the game mechanics, would be thrown out of balance for small characters. Basically they can be casters and be prone and cast, whereas nobody else can.
Yeah, I could see that. This is a special case, though.
It
Um,
is considering the
yes.
terrain and everything, but
Yeah. So I'm doing the same ready action.
gotcha.
To
Cast sleep as soon as some of them go down.
yeah.
All right. Goblin number 1 finds the bodies of the two-headed ogre and calls out in Goblin that they found the big boss. He dead. Goblin number 2 can't be bothered with that since he has been ordered to shoot Scout.
Well, I guess my pleas aren't working. My good charm.
Luckily, he shoots like a goblin. Goblin number 4 rushes over to see the big boss, and he just lets out a call that like something dangerous is in the area, and everybody is like instantly on triple high alert. Like they already were suspicious that there were more kobolds hiding in ambush and were ready to take care of that, but now they know whatever it is killed the big boss, so now they're extra cautious. This goblin comes rushing back over by the others.
All right. I guess I'm just going to hold my turn. If there's anything I can do as this initiative order continues. All right?
Yes, sir. Goblin number 3 rushes back over. Goblin number 8 moves forward cautiously.
Look, I'm tired. I'm injured. I give up. You guys have won.
Oh, that's right. You are totally right there. I do not move forward and I just ready to shoot you, but my goblin boss number 2 has not given that order. Goblin boss number 1 did, so my group of goblins does not fire at you. They just train all of their arrows on you and ready in action to shoot if you make any hostile action.
He's keeping his arms up, and he's trying to talk a man.
Goblin boss number 1.
So for one, I got an idea.
Well, hold on. Goblin boss number 1 leads by example and charges in to attack Scout.
That's not very fighter-like of you.
All right, so now, does anybody do any of their readied actions?
I mean, Gorakul sort of knows that when things happen, he's going to turn into a starry form.
Your action was to turn into the starry form once Elodie casts her spell. You cannot change the trigger.
Yes, I'm just waiting for.
But Elodie readied an action if any of the goblins got within range, so technically she could turn and fire at Goblin Boss number 1, even though she wouldn't get anybody else. She'd have to stand up, of course, but you know, the sequence of events would be you stand up and cast your spell, then the goblins get to attack you, and then Goblin Boss number 1, if he's still alive, gets to finish his turn.
I can't say anything because I'm all the way away from you guys.
No, you're good? Okay.
No.
So Goblin Boss number 1, attack Scout. He slices Scout down and shouts, "Everybody should know that I am the toughest boss in this area now." Goblin Boss number 2 says, "Hey, you
Wait a
not
second, I
the..."
held. Hold on, wait a second. I held my turn, so a scout gets sliced down. I stand up and I get my attack.
Okay, 1 second.
Can I do the same thing?
Yes.
Okay, so you stand up from prone. As you stand up from prone,
Everybody shoots at me.
yep,
Let's go. Let's get it out of the way.
Goblin 7 and Goblin 5, I think, still have their actions. Goblin 8 does not.
So, can I go next?
Wait, what's next? Everybody's going to use their attack of opportunity now on me.
Oh, come on, really?
It's what the day's all about.
Yeah.
Not at the present time, no, because all of you should be trying to attack now to get up and solve the problem.
No, that's very good advice. Is that now at this point it is everybody just blast.
So I think I should go next.
Do you want to?
Yeah, no,
Well,
I think
yeah,
yes.
because I have at least amount of hit points, and I can also do it from a range.
Yeah,
Right, so
absolutely.
Go for the goblin. Farthest away, right? I mean,
This
go.
guy.
No, not the
This guy.
goblin. You want to go for the goblin boss, right?
One.
Up there. Go
Yeah,
for goblin
I'm going
boss
for Goblin Boss 2.
Target that.
I'll need some help. I hit control.
All right, so do you stand up from prone or do you fire at disadvantage?
Well, I'm assuming don't I have to stand up to be able to do this with Rain of Fog?
No. You can actually shoot a bow from prone, but it's at disadvantage.
Okay, anybody with more experience than me want to advise me?
Yeah, you can just shoot from prone.
But if it doesn't have any effect,
Okay, then
if
just
I miss,
then
but if I stand, I mean, are most people at this point, are most of the goblins focused on other people enough that I can stand up without being shot right away?
I technically shouldn't tell you, but no, Goblin 5 will shoot at you.
I just don't know what I'm doing, so.
You have enough hit points to where you can take one shot.
Okay, so I'm gonna stand and shoot then.
Okay.
So,
First
target.
first things first, let Goblin number 5 shoot you just because that's how it actually happens, but it's not going to be enough to stop you.
Okay. And
then you can go ahead and, while that's happening, target Goblin Boss number 2 and get ready to roll your attack.
did I attack?
There you go. He didn't even hit.
just first cast your spell.
First cast my
The go to actions. Action.
Isn't this action?
No, actions. The tab that says actions.
Under your Hail of Thorns, you'll see the running guy. You want to go ahead and click on that.
Okay.
Oh, you don't have any spell slots left. You can't cast Hail of Thorns.
Oh. Brian, I can't cast Hail of Thorns. Because I don't have any spell slots left.
Yeah, she used them all last time.
And why not to attack the goblin boss number 1?
So does it, I don't know, tactically, does it make more sense to go after Goblin Boss 2 then?
Yeah, just do Goblin Boss 2.
Okay. Did I target him yet?
No.
I roll first?
Yeah, you just go ahead and roll your attack against Goblin Boss 2.
I have to target him first.
Oh, you were targeting. Go ahead and click again. There you go.
I can't see it, so. All right.
If you hover over your token, it'll show you a line to who you're targeting.
Mom, you're fine. You're targeting him. Just do the thing.
So, longbow, right?
Yep. You stand up and loose your arrow, but with the other goblin loosing an arrow at you, you're forced to duck out of the way, and it causes you to miss your shot. By the way, I'd like to point out that every single one of you has at least 1 point of inspiration.
Yeah. I was going to mention that you had an inspiration, I believe, still, Lucy, if you wanted to try to re-roll that.
It gives you advantage.
Too late for that.
You can still use it.
Goblin Boss number 2 runs up to Goblin Boss number 1 and shoves him. Goblin Boss number 1 says, "I told you I'm the big boss now."
Hey, Elegy, now you can hit both of them.
To do that, or is it not because I'm facing the other direction?
You can do that. Just remember that you still would need to stand up or do.
The thing is, at this point that as soon as I make an action, I'm going to die. So if y'all think that this is the time for me to make the action,
Well, wait a second.
then I'll
Haven't
do it, but I'll
haven't
die.
all the goblins now used their action?
The ones on the bottom have. You don't know about the ones on the top.
They didn't. The ones on the top.
Can we do? Would it be acceptable, DM, to do a perception roll to see if we can figure out who is looking like they're looking to shoot at something?
Well, I would normally allow you to roll insight. However, all of them, with the exception of the two on the bottom, Goblin number 7 and 5, 7 and 5. 7 and 5 look like they just launched arrows, so they're not ready. Everybody else looks like they're ready to shoot.
Okay, there's your answer, Elodie. They will shoot at you if you pop your head up.
That's not what I said. I said they look like they're ready to shoot because they are. That doesn't necessarily mean that they have readied actions. I just want to be clear about that.
I'm moving under the assumption that the next move that I make, I'll probably die. So I don't think I should, I can risk it and go for it and see if I get to hit them. Otherwise, I'm just sitting here and I'm not really being of any use.
So my recollection, Gabriel, I don't know if this is your recollection, was that Boss 2 was the one who said to draw, and Boss 1 didn't say anything.
Yeah. Just for the record, Gorakul, what you heard was boss number 1, the guy up top, told his goblins to fire at Scout, who is now dying, and so they still have arrows knocked and they're ready to defend their boss, but their last order that you heard was to shoot at Scout. Goblin boss number 2 has not given any commands to his goblins, and so you don't know like what they were all doing or not doing. But once Scout had stood up, Goblin number 8 did focus his arrows on him and is still watching his body right now. Other than that, you don't know what they're doing.
I'm just going to use my ready to attack on the 2 goblin bosses and see what happens. So I stand up.
You stand up from prone. And as you stand up from prone, nothing happens. Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. That's wrong. Let me just make sure who's had a turn. Yep, no, I was right. Nothing happens. All right, so Elodie, taking prone off, you stand up. And
I think you may be able to also hit 7 too, and hit those 2 if you move it over a little bit.
How?
It only needs to pass through a corner, right, in order to hit?
Right, but, look.
Yeah, like that. Go back to the right a little bit. See?
No, not even close.
Yeah, just let it play out. Just get rid of the bosses.
Just for the record, you would need to be, like...
I got that.
Like... this much in his square. So like it's got to pass through more than just like let me find it. If this is all that's in the square, like that's not enough. And even like this would be questionable at best. But this definitely not.
Okay, let's just keep moving.
Yep, let's throw the 30. Go.
You have to target.
I thought that range was the target.
No, unfortunately, it doesn't. But what you can do is up on top in target mode, you'll see the little target.
Yeah, my target mode for some reason isn't there, and that's how I normally target people. So
Oh,
I
really?
don't. It's literally just not there at all.
Oh
I
my
have
God. I'm so sorry.
how to target people.
Yeah, well, I'll help you out. I don't know why it's not there for you. There you go.
I only
Oh.
have Zoom to fit and stuff. It just doesn't have it.
Oh, never mind. I did that wrong. I didn't have you selected. Come on, what is going on here? Click on Elodie. Click on target mode. And it's not working. All right, I'm doing this the other way. Okay, there you go. Sorry about that. I was trying to do it the one way and it just wasn't working. All right, we got 1 success and 1 failure. Goblin boss number 2 goes into system shock. He has no reactions, disadvantage on attack, and disadvantage on any ability checks that he makes. Goblin boss number 1 takes half damage and is not frozen in place. Let me see if I can add the frozen in place effect to Goblin boss number 2. Grappled will do.
And Gorakul, after seeing Elodie sort of casting the spell, changes into.
Oh, yep. Now your ready to action goes off. So your starry form, you raise your hands to the stars, and little stars kind of gather in your palms and float all around you as your form changes into what?
And into a chalice, or in this case, a sort of like a starry sort of goblet. It's the chalice form.
Yes, you change into a starry goblin.
Goblet. Goblet.
Yes,
As
I heard you. I'm messing with you.
And doing so, it's a bonus action, so it means I can cure wound Zarash.
Yes. Do you stay prone and crawl over, or what do you do?
I crawl over because it won't give me disadvantage if I do it prone.
Gotcha.
Surging energy into Zarash.
You can't take 2 bonus actions in a round.
It's not a. It happens when I cast a spell. Remember?
The starry form.
Yes, I know, but every time I cast a spell, it heals me.
Oh, I see. That wasn't to Zarash. I thought you were using a power of your starry form to heal Zarash additionally. The chalice, whenever you use a spell that restores hit points, you also then heal. Got it. I just needed to refresh myself on that.
And Gorakul is as this sort of magic water sort of flows into the goblet and heals Zarash. That'll be the It'll be now Bitey Slayer's turn.
Yes, yes.
Held 2 turns. Do I get to go again whenever?
Oh, I'm gonna let it go because I want this to happen. But you wouldn't have been able to do all of that with your ready to action. Just that we're clear in the future when I, don't let that happen. Your ready to action is one action, changing into your starry form, not also moving and casting another spell. You would have needed to have held your turn in order to have done all that.
Okay.
It's okay. It's okay. We're just gonna act as if you had, held your turn and, all of that, and it'll be fine. I just want to make sure
Just
that
for future cases.
exactly, so that you're not like, oh, but I was able to do it the one time. I'm making it clear right now that I'm gonna allow it to still happen, but I should have.
understand.
Yeah. Okay.
I understand.
All right.
And I should have been clear that I was holding my action, not I was holding my turn, not my action.
Got it. We're good. I already corrected it and all of that. Just wanted to make sure that the readied action wouldn't cover that.
Okay, I know.
Bitey Slayer stands up. He's gotten pretty brave. Pesci's been really hyping him up. I mean, just so much.
Yes,
Yeah.
well, hearing stories about your grand adventures really helps build an ego. Lucy, were you going to attack as well? Because you're readying your action. Oh no, you already attacked. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was hoping that Pesci would be.
I am. I'm gonna let Bitey Slayer finish, and then I'm gonna go right after Bitey Slayer. I'm gonna trigger my thing after Bitey Slayer.
No, 19. Ooh, pitiful damage. He hits the goblin with a rock, and he says, "Yip yip, take that."
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. And then you said you're taking your turn, so.
Yeah, can you lay down a 20-foot radius for me for sleep, so I can determine who I need to hit with it, please? Creatures within 20 feet of a point I choose.
That's all of the other goblins, but none of the bosses.
That's fine with me.
So what I would do for you is this.
I'm casting this at level 2. So I get...
Oh, hold on 1 second. Let me untarget the ones that you're not actually targeting. All right, there you go.
Okay. So I'm casting this at level 2. I see that the hit is at 5d8. It should be 7d8.
I'm already getting there. Don't worry.
Okay.
No worries, my friend.
Awesome. I just used the spell slot.
I just gotta quick do this. And then this. Boom.
Okay. Awesome. Look.
Oh, no, it did it as damage. Why?
It's fine. They're all asleep.
The entire party's okay with me.
It's gonna work against us today. There's nothing we can do about it.
No.
It's a death sleep.
Yeah.
Pesci stands up and says, "Everybody, dramatic." And then everyone goes to sleep. And then after everyone's asleep, he says, "Pause."
So, what I need you to do is not roll the damage, but rather the Oh wait, there isn't a save for sleep, is there?
No, there isn't. It's just it does
It
the
just
I
does the hit
roll.
point. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So you rolled 22. All right, let me deal with this. Okay, so goblin number 8 is 4. So there's 18 left, and he is dead. Well, asleep. I really should put him back on there, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
All right, so
Aren't you glad I healed you, Dad?
Thank you.
okay, here we go. Goblin number 8 is back. But he is unconscious. Now, with 18 points left, the next one would be goblin number 5. And then uh
Oh,
goblin
poor
number
roll.
9. And now we're down to 6 points left, which gets goblin number 2.
I do want to
Okay.
make sure all the goblins that haven't gone yet get hit by this. If I have a choice of the
You do not. It goes from lowest to highest.
okay.
Okay.
Thought they all had the same HP.
No. Nope. Okay, so now target just the goblins that are standing. So that would be Goblin 8, Goblin 5, Goblin 2, and Goblin 9.
So 4 out of the 3 goblins in that group fall asleep.
Yep. And then once you have those goblins targeted, go ahead and apply the sleep.
Okay, so it is
The
goblin.
unconscious, yeah.
Okay. So
Oh, nope,
7.
not 7. 5, 8,
5.
3, and 9.
No, it's 5, 8.
2, not 3. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
2 right below
Okay.
it. There you
So
go.
I have these 4. Did I just unselect one? No.
No, you're fine. I'm just fixing the other ones that you accidentally blasted with your sleep of death.
Okay. So they should all have sleep now.
The unconscious. Yep. So there you go.
Yep.
Now the goblins have been put to sleep for 10 rounds. And that starts with this guy, who is asleep. And this guy is Somehow not asleep. Oh, yeah, that's right. He wasn't one of the ones. So Goblin number 7 is going to... let's see. I think shoot at Elodie. It's Elodie or Lucy. I'll tell you what. We'll roll for it. Yeah, Elodie. All right. So Elodie gets struck by an arrow and goes down.
Cool.
This goblin rushes back to the battle. And shoots at Lucille. Luckily, she still has all her hit points, and they just can't hit her.
Agile.
Like a cat. What?
Ah,
They don't have. I think they just have 2 fails.
Yeah, I don't know why Scout is dead.
I had one fail before they stabilized me last time.
Yeah, but you
And
have...
I didn't uncheck it, so
Oh, did you just uncheck it now?
yeah, so
Okay.
I'm at 2.
Thank you, sir.
Could you also uncheck that for Elodie?
Elodie's fine. I mean, not really. She has 2 death saves now, but...
Okay. Let's see. What can I do?
That is crazy that they both rolled a 1. Because now, like... Yeah. Oh, my God.
So I can't use a bonus action to cast a spell and then use my standard action to cast another spell, correct?
Unless one of them is a cantrip.
No, it's not a cantrip. Garcool, are you okay handling it?
Of course.
Okay. Then Pesci will
By
look at the.
of course, he means he can handle one of them.
Okay.
I
Why
want to make that clear before you like decide what you're gonna do.
Gotcha. Well, shoot. My priority is still the goblins that are still standing.
For sure.
So.
Which is pretty much all of them. I mean, yeah, 4 of them are asleep, but.
Yeah. So Pesci, confused that there's still a bunch of goblins still standing after his grand performance. 2, 3. There's 3. It looks like. Apparently, they didn't understand the impact of his words, and clears his throat, confused, and tries again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Says, I said, dramatic pause, as he uses a level 1 spell slot to cast. I guess no, he'll use another level 2 because this needs to happen.
Okay. Well, I can tell you that what we messed up on was don't target anybody, just roll the damage.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to roll the damage. This time it was a lot better.
Yeah, that was way better. And I can tell you without even having to look that is enough for all 3 of them, because it's like 7, 7, and 9, which is 23 at the most. So go ahead and target them and put them to sleep.
Okay. And I can't get the other goblin boss in this now that I don't need to worry about the other 2 goblins.
Sadly, no. The best you could do is get the 2 goblin bosses in one, or the other 3 goblins in one. If I was you, I'd target the 2 goblin bosses, though. I mean,
Okay. Yeah, the 2 goblin bosses seem to be the bigger threat right now
I
than
mean, one
the
of
minor
them is
goblins.
already frozen.
one of them is already frozen. You are 100% correct about that, Hazard. However, at the end of the day, if you take out the bosses, it's the whole cut off the head and the snake will die.
Yeah. Oh, and it looks like I can get one of the other goblins still standing in this too.
It does,
Nice.
but I don't know if you want to.
I want to get the 2 goblins first, and if there's still some remaining enough to put them to sleep, I will take it.
Okay, so I want to be clear that the way the spell works is it goes from lowest hit points to highest.
That's true. How much damage did you do to the 1 goblin boss?
A lot, enough to put him in a system shock.
So Elodie
And that's
did
another
13, but did half damage to that. Okay. Yeah, no, I can't target the other one. You're correct, DM.
So fortunately, if you put it here, your other 2 companions are already asleep, so no worries.
Yep, let's do it there.
Okay, so Goblin Boss number 2 has... Uh-oh, this ain't looking good. Yeah, 22. Never mind. You can go ahead and target everybody. Everybody falls asleep. So,
Cool.
I only said that I don't recommend it, and normally I wouldn't, game the system to get you guys this extra one, but let's face it, it was a really, really, really hard encounter, so giving you guys a slight advantage by being able to game that a little bit ain't going to kill anybody. So Goblin 7 and the 2 bosses, go ahead and target them and put them to sleep.
Wow. And then, oh no, so the other 2 the goblins, they can understand common. After he puts them to sleep, Pesci says in common, greatly, "Now I control the souls of all those on this field who are down. And if you do not turn and flee right now, you will be next." And that is his turn.
Actually, they don't speak common.
That was worth a try.
Yeah. I rolled just like with the boss to see if they spoke common or not. But...
How about if I translate for him?
Yeah, absolutely. On your turn, you can roll an intimidate check with Pesci aiding.
I'm debating on whether I should remain standing or if I should dive into prone to avoid their fire. Yeah, Pesci will dive back into prone to avoid their fire.
Fair enough.
As he dives forward back into prone.
So just so that we're clear, then you can't aid Zarash when he translates for you to intimidate.
He's got it.
No problem.
He's taken my stage direction before. He's big and mean and intimidating. He's got it.
Absolutely.
I'm squishy.
I thought you were Pesci.
Pesci is pretending to be squishy.
Lucy gets another arrow shot at her, but like some kind of crouching tiger, hidden dragon, or hero scene, she just dodges the arrows left and right.
Especially the squishy.
That arrow scene from Hero is so epic. Uh-oh. One of them finally gets through. Oh. Just knocks you prone. That ain't too bad. One of the arrows strikes you so hard in the leg that it takes your legs out from under you and you're knocked prone, but other than that you're fine. Like there's no additional effect.
What's wrong?
Unfortunately, you're also like one of the only viable targets right now. So a bunch of the guys are shooting at you, but they miss.
So being knocked to the. Hey, good news, Mom. You're doing great.
Yeah, being knocked to the ground was the best thing that could have happened. All right, Zarash, you are no longer unconscious as Gorakul has healed you, but you are still on the ground prone.
Okay, so I'm going to translate Pesci's threat and say, the master of the bardic skills holds the souls of your compatriots in his hands. He will control their souls and destroy them if you do not leave the field of battle immediately.
Pesci pipes up and says, "Smash the frozen one to make a point."
Can I smash? Well, no, I want to. Can I do this and swing at the same time or no?
Yeah.
Smash the other one, because then it'll be back in.
I know. No, I don't want to smash the frozen one. Smash the other
Yep,
one.
and she beat me to it. So you absolutely can, do something else. But as Elodie told you guys about her new spell beforehand, you know that if they get frozen and you hit them, that you can free them from their frozen state, and then they're no longer letting it go.
So I can hit Goblin Boss number 1.
Don't worry about it.
Oh,
He does
absolutely you can. But as Pesci has told you guys about his sleep spell, if you hit them, you wake them up.
All right. So I will. So at that point, I'm just going to try to intimidate. So I should do a roll for intimidation at this point. Skills
With advantage.
with advantage.
No. I said Pesci could aid if he didn't dive prone, but because he just said something that they didn't understand and then dive prone right away, they're just like, whatever, stupid gnome.
Okay, then how about use
Done.
you could use an inspiration point.
Inspiration point. I'll use an inspiration point.
Using some perspiration, you put some extra effort into it and go ahead and roll intimidate again.
Woo! Wait, 1 second. It was an 18. It didn't show up though.
Oh, that sucks when that happens. And bless you.
Thank you.
Can we try it again? Didn't show up again. Well, it showed up this time.
Yeah, and then it shows up when it's that. I hate that. Anyway, 12. So let's roll to see what they think.
Of course.
They think you guys are full of it.
Awesome. All right. Is there any other action I can do, or is that it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like you said, you can stand up and attack or do whatever, but
Both of the Goblin bosses are frozen.
You can try
No,
a medicine.
the one is unconscious. The other one is frozen and unconscious.
Okay, which one's unconscious?
Oh yes, Hazard. Please tell him what he can do to
You
assist
can do a
Elodie.
medicine check for the other action.
Oh, to help Scout?
No, Elodie.
I would, well, so Scout. I would probably help Scout right now because he's already.
Yeah, Scout or Elodie. If you go over by them, you can make a medicine check to stabilize them.
I'm gonna go to Scout.
No, I suggest.
Actions.
It's okay, Hazard. It's his character.
I'm just worried about Elodie.
Well, I'm worried about Scout. Didn't help. Okay. That's it.
Well,
Indeed, it is. You have successfully stabilized Scout, who is now no longer dying, but is still
unconscious.
lacking the consciousness.
Lucy, you're up. Did you get your?
Our computer's still off.
Can you throw the character over to me and Tanya, you want to come over here and do it?
Yes. One second.
Yep.
You need Lucy to be.
My computer's having issues.
Isn't that always how it goes? You guys are in the fight of your life, and your computer's acting up.
You've been doing great, Mom. No! You actually did things.
Alright, so, because I have some sort of healing something or other. Does anybody need that?
Melody does. You have a healing something or other? You do? Under your spells?
When I,
Yes, but you wasted your spell slots, remember?
does that include all my stuff?
You
that
waste them, but
just-
you've used them.
So
Yes, you
cure
do.
wounds, but I can't use it if I don't have anything?
Well, because you've used the spell 3 times already.
Cure wounds?
Right, you've used 3 spell slots here, so you don't. Right now, you can't throw any spells until you get a long rest, and we have not had a chance to get a long rest in our.
Okay, so I don't know how that.
Yeah, so I believe that's the case. Am I right, DM?
Can DM even hear us?
DM.
Yeah. Yes. One second. I concur that the spell slots were used. I do not agree that they were wasted.
Well, at least there's that. Okay,
This
so
one, you just gotta shoot
I just
something.
need to shoot.
Right, so you got the goblins that are still unconscious. You got 10, and you got 3, 4. There's plenty left to shoot at. So I would go with let's see. Let's go with Goblin 1 because that's the next in order after you. No, Goblin lost 2 to sleep. 9, 7, 8, 6, 10. Let's go with 10. This is the next one that's up on the list here. So where is 10? Hold on, we gotta get this bigger. These error messages are really annoying.
They really are.
Oh, are you getting error messages? Here, let me help you out.
Constantly.
Yeah, all like me, my dad, and my mom, we're all getting like error messages constantly.
You might want to make sure next time that you update before you start the game, because I noticed some of you don't have the same version, which could be leading to some of that.
Okay.
It's fine for now, but yeah.
Okay, Longbow. So
Yes. Longbow. Did you target it?
I targeted him, yeah, so good roll. Now it's what is that instead? Good. Now you can go there. Roll it up. that.
Perfect. Stepping up, Lucy launches her arrows at the goblin and pierces him right through the lungs, and he drops to the ground dying. And I forgot to have you stand up from prone, so you actually rolled that at disadvantage.
Okay.
It's all right. You got it anyway. So, okay, very good. Oracle, you're up.
Gorakul, keeping on the motive of healing up everyone, uses a level 2 slot to cure wounds Elodie. That means it increased by 1d8. So that means I'm going to cast it 2 times on Elodie. Just to
Nope,
make it
nope,
easy.
nope.
What?
Don't do that.
Hmm.
One second. Why didn't that work? Oh, because it's down. What? That is weird. Okay, hold on. Okay, there you go. Spells level 2, and then... Alright, there you go. Now you have Cure Wounds level 2, but I don't know why there's all these extra ones.
So Gorakul, using his magic once again, heals up Elodie. And with his form of the chalice, he heals himself. And Gorakul sort of whispers, "Return to us, O Frostbearer." Like how I'm including you?
Yes, and your stars do indeed heal the dying Elodie. And then Bitey Slayer returns fire at the goblin who shot at him. But he doesn't knock him down. Elodie, you are no longer unconscious. You are currently prone.
Those goblins with that, just go back to that icy thing here where that stuff right in front of you.
I don't think I've reached them before.
10, 15, 20, 25. Well, if you move up 5, 10 feet. No one has a attack ready at this point, right? Everybody used them all?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll move up.
There's only looks like 4 goblins still up. Is that right? 4?
1, 2, 3, 4, yeah.
Okay.
Before you go, Andrea, hold on, wait a minute. Well, those are. They're not asleep?
These two right here.
They're not? Okay. And you got them. You figured out.
I mean, I can move up to that other area, but like.
No, it's all right. Yeah, by the time you do that, yeah, go
This will be easy.
knock them out.
Well,
I still can't do it.
to what Zarash was talking about before, if you do move up here and then cast your icing death or whatever, you'll take out 2 of the goblins who are about to go.
About to go? Like,
Since they're-
run away?
Yeah, I mean
Do we care?
they're about to. Yeah, you do, because if you can get them out before they actually have an attack, it's going to limit
Okay,
the
so
damage.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
Yeah.
I still can't target, so you'll have to target them for me.
Done. Boo!
That sucks.
Wow.
What happened?
They
Did you
just,
get hit again?
no, they just both missed my attack.
Yeah, but that's okay. You're still, you know, gonna deal half damage, so
At least there's that. So I still get to roll damage?
yes.
No.
What? What? It was like hero actions and now it's not. I don't understand.
Did-
Sad.
Is the damage missing?
No, like the entire action is gone.
Make it full screen, please.
It was right here between the generic actions and spell levels 1 and stuff.
There you go.
Now it's back. Okay. It just disappeared.
All right.
Well,
So one of them dropped to 0 but is stable, but they're still unconscious. The other one can take no reactions and has disadvantage on attacks.
right, turn over. Aldi.
Oh yeah, I forgot I had to hit that.
Pesci!
Okay. So Goblin 1 is, or Goblin 4, I guess, above. Oh, Goblin 1 is still functional, correct?
Yes.
But has disadvantage with attacks.
Okay. Who is coming up? Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to look and see how much range I have on some of this stuff. Okay, so Vicious Mockery is that. Okay. Vicious Mockery, does that just require me to mock him? It's just verbal. Great. So
Yeah.
I don't need to come out of prone. I come up 10 feet, crawling on prone, and then I target Goblin 3, which should be within my range. And he is. And I will insult him. Let's see. Sorry, that shouldn't have triggered. I don't know why it did. He failed. I do my psychic damage. I rolled a 1. And he's at disadvantage.
What is your taunt?
My taunt is he's useless now that his bosses aren't telling him what to do anymore. Like a stagehand with no direction. You are useless without your bosses.
Nice.
And Pesci ends his turn. Pesci ends his turn. I will be back in 1 moment.
No problem. Goblin number 1. I am like the last goblin standing, and I can take no reactions and disadvantage on attacks and checks. So yeah, I think this is as good a time as any to run away. Goblin number 6, having succeeded at his wisdom, runs over and wakes up Goblin boss number 1.
Oh no. That's not what I wanted to hear.
Actually, he wakes up Goblin number 9 and then Goblin boss number 1. And what the heck, I wake up Goblin boss number 2 right away too, but he still can't move. Goblin number 3 is viciously mocked. But will fire at Elodie anyway.
At least disadvantage, so.
At disadvantage, he manages to hit. Elodie takes another wound, but is otherwise okay. Goblin boss number 1 is
Come on,
really, really angry.
Come on after me.
Isn't he unconscious?
Not anymore.
Who hit him? Oh,
So I move over here and attack Zarash.
Oh. I'm gonna be dead again. Yay! I'm dead again.
What sort of attack did he use?
He used his regular attack twice.
What is he, a monk?
Nope, he has multi-attack. Zarash, you are... Oh, darn it. I have to do this over again.
You targeted scouts.
Yeah.
It just means it's an easy hit.
Of course, this DM doesn't like doing that.
No. I try not to target people who are, already down unless, there's nobody else to target, and that's what the enemy would do.
And also, you have Scout as dying.
Yeah, I'll fix it.
Sorry, just...
Ooh, the rare snake eyes.
I got lucky there.
Yeah.
I'm still alive. I'm not
Yes.
dead yet.
Yes. So, you are hurt but alive.
Awesome. Well, I think it sounds to me like it's time for me to attack Goblin Boss number 1 here and do what I can do. Because, that's the nature of it. All right. Wait a second. The problem is I'm still, for some reason, it still thinks I'm Lucy. Hold on a second. What's that? I do. You're the best. You're the best character here. Okay, Zarish, target. Okay, good, fine. All right, actions. I got my faultless longsword. It better be faultless because I need it to be.
And also you're a brute.
Wait a second, it got me a disadvantage. Is there a reason for that?
You're prone.
Oh, can I stand up first?
Yes.
Okay, let me stand up first and do that again. I'm sorry. Okay, try that again. Okay. Okay.
Your longsword cuts a big wound into Goblin Boss number one's armor, and you can see some green blood trickling down, but he's still up.
Okay, so Tanya, Lucy, you want to come over and do the honors here and see if we can actually knock the Goblin Boss here on his ass? Hold on.
I'd be glad to.
See if we can- All
You're
right.
eating Cracker Barrel?
Yeah, I am. It's Father's Day. I'm remembering my father. Hold that one out. Not that one. That dagger. Yep. Actually, no. Okay. Ah! Oh, you go.
How could I possibly roll one?
Yeah, roll a 7.
It's all the arrows flying in at you that you keep dodging that cause you to miss.
Wait, did I roll the one?
Yeah, you throw a longbow. Not gonna work out. The 18 would have been much better.
The 18 would have been.
Okay. Fine, Gorpal, you're gonna have to kill him. Goblin Boss 2 is asleep, is still frozen, right?
Yeah.
He's still frozen, but he decides that he's going to throw his javelin.
Oh, he's frozen.
It's speed 0. He's not frozen. He's not frozen solid. He's just not able to move. And then he orders Goblin number 9 to break him free.
Well, Gorakul, saying that, is going to sort of like, while making sure not to like cause tax of advantage, is going to crawl over to here and cast where is that? What? Earth Tremor? Where's Earth Tremor? There it is. And it's going to be at the spell slot number 2, so
Again, you can't cast spells while prone.
okay, then I'll get up from prone and cast Earth Tremor.
Okay. Let me take prone off of you.
I'm going to cast Earth Tremor on Goblin 9, 3, and 2.
Okay. And you can't cast it at level 2 because you don't have level 2 druid spells.
Only level 2 Cleric?
Correct.
Hey. I thought I would have level 2 True Druid.
No.
Come on.
My earth tremor swallows up the sleeping goblin number 2.
No. I don't
What?
know. I don't know why it is calling a natural 20 an auto fail, but that is definitely a success.
Then why can't I target the other 2?
Because they also succeeded.
Eh,
I have no idea why it's saying that the 20 is an auto fail. That is incredibly odd. But your difficulty class was 10, so obviously the 22 succeeded.
I think I know what it is. It's he's asleep.
Ah, you're right. He was unconscious, so he auto failed. Thank you. So
So he
yes,
does get eaten up by the earth.
yes, he
As,
is.
as this sort of image of a star hitting of a meteorite hitting the ground sort of causes the tremor.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's swallowed up into the earth, like you said. You're right. Good catch there, Hazard.
Yes, I just was being observant.
Yeah, I was like, why is it saying a 20's a fail? That doesn't make any kind of sense.
I listen.
Hey, I hit the goblin again. Hey, take that. I knocked that goblin out. Get out of here, goblin. I think I need another tale about how awesome I am.
I wanna be a macho man.
That was Mighty Slayer did it. Don't worry, he'll have a tail.
I use my action to break free goblin boss number 2.
Your turn, Elodie. What are the spell slots you have left?
Why did it skip over to me? It should have gone to Elodie.
It was on Elodie. I don't know why it. Did Elodie end her turn?
I did not.
I am putting it back on Elodie.
I've used my second spell slots, but I still have all my first spell slots. I can cast a ray of frost.
Yep. You have all your cantrips that you can use all the time, plus any first level spell.
How far can I move? Yeah, I guess I actually need to move. If I'm doing... I still can't target anybody, but so do I have to have Gorapool out of the way to use Ice Knife, or could I cast it on one of the goblins that I would not be hitting anybody, or would I? Does it matter?
If you cast it on goblin number 9, you can hit all 3 in that cluster without it jeopardizing anybody in your party.
All right, cool. Can you target Goblin number 9? Goblin number 9 still can't do that. All right, cool.
Uh-oh. Who else did you target? Oh, nobody. Okay. It just auto-rolled the save. So you miss, so nothing happens. Except you spend a spell slot, of course.
All I can do, right? So I'm just gonna end.
Okay.
By the way, guys, this will be the last round before we wrap up.
Okay. I was really hoping to not have to use this spell slot because it is my last one. I'm going to hit sleep on these remaining goblins. It's a level 1 spell slot, DM.
Yes, sir.
So let me roll. Nope, don't do that. Wrong one. Ignore that roll. Let me roll the damage. High roll, high roll. High-ish.
It's pretty high. All right. So starting with the lowest. 17, 15, 20. Oh, man. All right. So you managed to get Goblin number 9. Wait, let me make sure I do this in the right order. Goblin boss number 1. Goblin number 1.
Goblin number 1 is not. He's way far away.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
It's just these 4 that are next to us because Goblin 1 is running away.
Yeah. Goblin number 6. Goblin number 9. And Goblin boss number 2. They all fall unconscious. Just as you are about to celebrate, you hear a sound, one that Gorakul recognizes all too well. It is the war horn of the horde of Khazrak, a dreaded horde of orcs and goblins that the two-headed ogre is a part of. The war horns only mean one thing.
Can we get the hell out of here now?
The
Yes, and
entire horde is
get
on
the
the
stone
move.
out of here.
We're not going to be able to get the stone out of here. We're not going to be able to carry it out. It's going to be, they will overtake us and they will kill us. So we have to disappear and we'll track the stone back to wherever they want to take us.
Well, the horns are still a little ways away, and you guys will have the next week as players to decide what your characters want to do. For this is where we draw to a close for this session of Dragons of War, with the horde of orcs and goblins blowing their horns in the distance but still close enough to be heard. Gorakul worried about the fate of the meteor, but Zarash and probably most of the others urging him to, not worry about this multi-hundreds, thousands of pounds rock and rather, realize that if they're still alive, they can come back for it. But if they die, then the rock is forever out of their hands. And so...
I'm just saying that Gorakul does not believe that even if they're alive, they'll never get the stone back.
Well, that'll be something that you'll be able to bring up to them as we resume next week.
I'm just trying to be in character. I'm not trying.
Nope. Nobody's upset. You're more than welcome to be in character, but as Zarash pointed out to you, the option might come down to, okay, then you stay here and die while we escape. So you're going to have to make a decision if it comes down to that. So you can act in character and nobody's upset about that. But your character is going to have to make a decision about whether he's going to stay there and try to guard it and get it alone, or whether he's going to continue with his group and, acquiesce to their decision to leave and come back. So no worries. You don't have to decide right now. You've got time to consider your options. You guys don't even know how big the horde is. Maybe it's a horde of like 7, but probably not.
Doubtful.
Yeah. So as we draw to a close, I, as always, want to thank everyone for playing. I want to thank anyone who's watching. And as always, everyone, good gaming.
Gaming.